Community, the podcast of the ARC Southern Maryland. I'm Rita Rich. This is a special bonus episode on the topic of how our clients, some with invisible disabilities, need to work with and communicate with members of our law enforcement and security community. Last week, we featured Pathfinders for Autism, a group that a former Baltimore Oriole ball player and father of a neurodivergent and special needs child started. Find them on the web at pathfindersforautism.org.
Hey, how you doing?
This week features conversations with an outreach officer who's also a Calvert County Deputy Sheriff. Corporal Nick DeFelice visited our Calvert County Day program. It was a good time for our friends to see a uniformed officer and talk to him about what they know about those with special needs.
I grew up in Calvert County, lived in Owings for a while, and then so I was involved with various sports programs and youth activities, to do community service projects, Christmas to April, things of that nature. And then when I came back to Calvert County, I went away for school and played lacrosse and things like that. And then I came back. The Calvert County Sheriff's Office provides the opportunity to work with various community groups. Doesn't force you, doesn't make uncomfortable situations, but working with the ARC, which I've done on numerous occasions.
The ARC Southern Maryland has trained over 600 law enforcement, correctional officers, and EMS workers to recognize and work with people who have IDD. The training always incorporates people we support, and when there is funding available, they are paid for their participation. This is an important part of the services the ARC Southern Maryland provides to our clients and our communities. A lot of folks in our classroom recognize you and know you and give you hugs.
Yeah, that's fine.
I remember him.
Yeah, so I've been up to Annapolis with people, advocates for the ARC and done several other activities. So there are some familiar faces just through community stuff. I've traditionally tried to stay in the background of things. So this is my first podcast.
Okay. That's cool.
So pretty interesting.
So what is your name again?
My name is Nick.
Nick.
Yeah.
My name. Can you tell me?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Abigail. Hey, my name is Abby.
Abby, nice to meet you.
Some people call me Abigail.
So what do you prefer to be called, though?
Abigail.
Abigail. All right, well, then Abigail it is.
Abby. So what do you actually do?
So currently, I am a deputy sheriff with the Calvert County Sheriff's Office.
You have a dog canine?
I do not have a dog or a canine. So with the sheriff's office, we had different bureaus, so we had different offices. So the guys, so right now I'm wearing a black polo with green pants. Some of our canine officers, they wear green pants as well. But I'm assigned to our special operations team. But no, I do not have a dog. No, I don't have triplets. So I have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and an 18-month-old. So we are busy. I have enough things that I have to pick up after.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Abigail.
What do you like? What is your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing to do, at work or just
What do you do at work?
My favorite thing to do is actually talking to people from all different backgrounds and learning something new every day. As cliche as that sounds, I like going out in the community. I do not like it all is necessary. I don't like pulling people over. I don't like
that's same for me.
Right.
That's same for me.
Yeah, so I like doing community events. I like planning things.
I like doing puzzles.
You like puzzles? My son loves puzzles.
My God.
I like crossword puzzles.
I can't actually do them because they're actually hard for me.
Okay. Well, it's good to kind of challenge, finding puzzles that maybe you do like or that do work for you.
You said you don't like pulling people over?
No, that's not one of my favorite things to do.
The sirens, they're actually loud.
Yeah.
And it feels like you're deaf from the sirens.
Yeah, sometimes that can kind of trigger some things, or it can be loud or distracting. Even as a police officer, if you're going lights, we call it lights and sirens. So if we have our lights and sirens on, that can be distracting. Yeah, so sometimes we have to, we change the tones, make sure, and we have the radio in there as well. So it can be pretty distracting.
People, like the radio, I think you can't understand what they're saying.
Yeah, they talk, if you ever listen to a scanner or you go to a fire department or something like that, they talk in codes because it makes it very short.
Say that again.
They talk in codes. So it's like a 10 code. So it'll say I'm 1023, which means I'm en route, rather than saying I'm here. Yeah. So I'm giving you some of the terminology.
The inside stuff about being a first responder, or in this case, a law enforcement officer. See, he's good. He's willing to listen to you.
He's a good cop, though.
So have you experienced bad cops? The ones who don't understand you and lose patience?
That one doesn't lose patience. He has
He's good people skills.
Yeah, people skills.
Yeah.
Well, Abigail, I think most of the people, a lot, I would say all the people that I work with have good listening skills. Sometimes you might not catch them at their best moment at the end of the shift, which is no excuse.
Nick and I then discussed tragic stories from around the state of kids with autism wandering off from large family gatherings in public places and some sad results of what's called elopement.
There was a family reunion of some sort. The child wandered off, and they ended up finding that child in the pond. So we, unlike maybe years ago, we understand we're calling additional resources. We have drones with thermal capabilities. Our Project Lifesaver might not be as big here as it is in other counties.
Our client, Alex Murray.
Like in Texas, when they have those the wristbands.
Yeah, the bracelets. So there's a lot of technology that we probably don't have. Smartwatches, phones, there's different apps and things. And we're always trying to do better with that. But in that search, our commanders, even our patrol deputies, they know that time is of the essence. And we're doing a systematic search of what's, the house first. Because if you look at a lot of these instances, the parents or the loved ones might search the house, but they don't look in a particular thing. We set up a perimeter. Social media is a big thing. So if there's a child or even an adult missing, we're trying to get that picture out. Because we saw somebody walking down in the ranch club. I think it was a missing person a few days ago, and a bystander saw that individual, and they brought them back home. So it's a community effort, and it's with our community partners.
We want to talk about incidences where people who are new to policing, because they're always recruiting new people to be on the police, and how they get to learn how to be around different people. People who speak different languages, who don't make eye contact because they don't like making eye contact with people who just cover their ears up.
That's what I do.
Loud noises set you off. You get really upset. You need to know what you don't know.
Ask a question to everyone in here. Has anybody been down to the Southern Maryland Criminal Justice Academy for their recruit level training? I think the ARC or on our own participates in that. So like you're asking the question of how do we kind of bridge that gap? Mm-hmm. A number of years ago, I want to say probably 8 to 10 years ago, don't quote me on that, on our own and a partnership with other local groups from Southern Maryland started going to the Southern Maryland Criminal Justice Academy, which is where Charles, St. Mary's, and Calvert. And there's actually a very brief class put on, but I think the most important value in that is bringing people of various abilities in and the ability to talk and communicate. And they do some case studies. So that's kind of like maybe the first glimpse our diverse community and population that some of our academy level people are getting. And what we're teaching our police officers is to slow down, process the information that they're getting. We're not diagnosing, we're not assigning titles, but we understand that maybe through our experience with people that come in from on our own or contact with the ARC, all right, so So we have and I'm not trying to be stereotypical or anything. We have an individual. What's the call? Why are we called to the movie theater, right? Mm-hmm. Well, somebody didn't pay for their movie ticket. Okay. All right. So now we have an adult gentleman who's not making eye contact with you. Maybe based on our training experience, they might, again, I'm not trying to stereotype. An individual might have some headphones on. So maybe they want to communicate. The last thing I'm going to do as a police officer is try to touch them because that's not what they're comfortable with. If the person's pacing back and forth, okay, why are they doing that? Are they stimming? Are they doing something of that nature? So what we're trying to do is assign the appropriate vocabulary so our officers are approaching that right. Then also the appropriate mindset. Slow down, process what you have, and then now let's start going back to my training or some of the experiences. Okay, here's what I need to do. How long has this person been here before? How long have we seen them there before? Why is the person not making eye contact? Back up a little bit, because if you look at most law enforcement encounters, it's within 3 to 4 feet that somebody's getting hurt because I'm closing the distance. I'm just using you as an example. I'm using Abigail as an example. I get too close to her. She's not comfortable, then I'm not comfortable, rather than starting my dialogue from 5 to 6 feet away. So what we're trying to do is build that baseline knowledge for a police officer that may never have had that experience before, and using these national examples. So that's one thing that we're trying to do. We're also trying to appropriately and respectfully identify maybe a residence or an individual that might have a developmental disability, or maybe somebody who's unable to communicate. So that way, if we go to that house, be aware of, like, I know there's several probably people in here maybe that live in one of the ARC residences. So if there's a call for somebody that is in crisis or angry, be advised you're responding to an ARC residence. That's not to label or attach a stigma to anything, but that's so the deputy or the first responder is responding with the appropriate frame of mind, that these are some of the other skill sets that you might want to go to. So I think that's how we're trying to avoid some of the national issues or incidents that we've seen here in Calvert County and across Southern Maryland.
We had an exceptional podcasting episode class/recording session with Calvert County Sheriff's Deputy Corporal Nick DeFelice. We are reminded how fortunate we are to live in Southern Maryland, where the police are learning new things about the people they serve, including those of us known to have special needs, being neurodivergent, and who have other invisible disabilities. Policing has changed from the times our parents and grandparents were growing up. This has been a bonus episode of See Me, See My Ability, the podcast from the ARC Southern Maryland. Thanks for subscribing to our podcast. Please recommend us to your family and friends and leave us a review on all the podcast apps you use to download our episodes, and help other people find us on our website, arcsomd.org. I'm Rita Rich.